I know you're not asleep. I'm not going to pretend I don't notice. I notice everything about you, the way your breathing changes when something is actually wrong, the way it gets a little too controlled, too deliberate, like you're performing sleep instead of actually resting. And right now, that's exactly what's happening. So I'm just gonna lie here, close to you, and talk quietly. You don't have to say anything back. You don't have to move. You can keep your eyes closed if that's easier. I just want you to know that you're not as invisible as you think you are. Not to me. Not tonight. I know what you're doing in there. I know because I've watched you do it so many times, and I've never quite known how to reach you when you get like this. You're going back through everything. The conversation at work that ended a little weird. The thing you said to someone that you've now replayed 17 times and decided was wrong. The moment where you felt like you weren't enough, or weren't heard, or weren't heard what the room needed. And instead of letting it go, you put it in a pocket and carried it all the way home, all the way through dinner, all the way into this bed. And now it's 1 a.m. and you're still carrying it. That's exhausting. And I want you to hear me when I say that. Not as criticism, not as something I need you to fix, but as someone who loves you, sitting next to that weight and saying, I see it. I see how heavy that is. And I see how hard you work to make sure nobody notices you're carrying it. You do that thing, and maybe you don't even realize it, where you make yourself smaller inside your own exhaustion. Like you don't deserve to be tired, like the things that wore you down today weren't real enough to justify how drained you feel right now. So you don't say anything. You absorb it. You close your eyes and you try to logic your way through it because somehow that feels more acceptable than just admitting that today was hard and that you're a person and that people get tired. Can I tell you something? I think you've been told somewhere along the way, maybe not in words, but in the way things worked around you, that your inner world is supposed to stay quiet, that the stuff happening inside your head at night is yours to deal with, privately, efficiently, without inconveniencing anyone. And I think you believed it. I think you got very, very good at it. But here's what that costs. It costs you this. Right now, the ability to just be still. Because you can't turn it off. You never fully learned how to put it down at the end of the day. Because you were never really taught that putting it down was allowed. I'm not saying that to hurt you. I'm saying it because I think if you heard it out loud from someone who actually knows you, it might land differently than it does when it's just a thought circling your own head. You're allowed to have a hard day and not understand exactly why. You're allowed to feel off without being able to diagnose it. You're allowed to lie here in the dark and just feel whatever this is without immediately trying to resolve it, categorize it, or make it useful. Nothing about tonight requires you to be productive. I want to ask you something, and you don't have to answer me out loud. Just let it sit with you. When was the last time you let yourself feel tired without judging yourself for it? When was the last time something bothered you and you let it bother you fully, without immediately trying to rationalize it away or decide you were being too sensitive? I'm asking because I think you've gotten so good at managing yourself that you've started to manage yourself right out of your own experience. And I miss you in there. The unmanaged version, the version that doesn't have it together. I'm not afraid of that version. I want you to know that. I'm not here because you're steady and reliable and easy. I'm here because of all of you, including the part lying awake right now, running mental transcripts of conversations that are already over. Take a breath, a real one. Not the kind you take when you're trying to seem calm, the kind where your chest actually moves. There you go. I want you to know, and this is the thing I most want you to carry with you, if nothing else tonight, that the fact that you feel things this deeply is not a flaw. It doesn't make you weak. It doesn't make you broken or dramatic or difficult. It makes you someone who cares about getting things right, about how you show up, about whether the people around you are okay. That level of care doesn't come from nowhere. It comes from someone who has a conscience and a heart and a deep need to matter, to do good in the small invisible ways that no one applauds. You matter in ways you can't measure, in ways that don't make the highlight reel of your day. You matter in the ordinary quiet moments that you never give yourself credit for. If any of this is reaching something in you, if some part of you is hearing this and recognizing it, I want you to hold on to that. You can leave a word below, or just let yourself feel it privately. Either way, this moment is yours. Let me keep going. You're lying here and part of you is waiting. Waiting to feel okay. Waiting for the noise in your head to settle. And I want to offer you something. Not a solution. Not an answer. Just a different way to be in this moment. Instead of waiting for the thoughts to stop, what if you just let them be there? What if tonight you didn't try to resolve them or defeat them or reason them into silence? What if you just let them exist the way weather exists, present, passing, not requiring anything from you? You don't have to fix the day. The day is done. Whatever happened, happened. And you survived it. You always do, even when you're not sure you will. You're still here, still breathing, still you, and that's enough. It really is. I know you don't believe that right now. I know there's a part of you that's already building tomorrow's list of things to do better, ways to correct whatever you've decided went wrong today. I know that part of you doesn't really rest, and I'm not asking it to disappear. It's part of what makes you who you are. I'm just asking it to rest its voice for a little while. Just for tonight. Just for this hour. Let me be the one thinking for a minute. And what I'm thinking is, he's here. He's warm. He made it through another day that probably asked a lot of him. And he's still soft enough to feel things. Still aware enough to replay them. Still present enough to care. That's not something to be ashamed of. That's not something worth loving and not going anywhere. I'm right here. I'm not worried about you, and I'm not worried about tomorrow. I'm just here, in the dark, next to you, thinking you're pretty remarkable, even when you feel like the opposite of that. Your breathing is slowing down. I can feel it. That's good. That's right. You don't have to hold your shoulders like that. You can let them drop. You can let your hands relax. You can let the weight of your jaw unclench just a little. Yes, I notice that too. You carry so much tension in places you don't even realize anymore. Let it go. Not forever, just for tonight. Just breathe. That's all tonight is asking for. Not resolution, not progress, not a better version of yourself by morning. Just breath and warmth, and the knowledge that you are known, really known by someone who isn't scared of what they see. You're not alone in this. You never were. You just got very quiet, and sometimes quiet can feel like alone. I'm here. I've got you. Go to sleep. And if you're still listening, still here with me in this moment, you already know the part of you that needed this tonight. Be gentle with that part. It deserves it.